Hey everyone, this is Derek here and welcome to an exciting video because today I'm going to show you a crazy bug or glitch currently in PUBG Mobile that allows you to drop in classic mode with weapons and armor if you can find them in 10 seconds and get lucky. But it's pretty crazy and it expands on the bug or glitch that I first highlighted about a week ago, where if you follow your teammate after you're already on the ground and they're on the plane, then you get teleported to the plane. You don't have a parachute. You get knocked out when you hit the ground, but you retain all the items you've looted in the first 10 to 15 seconds. So in order for this to work, I'm going to show you 3 different drops. That way you can get a feel for how I'm doing this, because it's not the easiest thing in the world. But I've got 2 devices. They're playing duos with each other. Bottom guy is just staying in the plane. Top guy dropped as soon as possible and got on the ground as soon as possible. You just have to find the first house or structure with items in it that you can, because otherwise you'll run out of time. You can see right away a Kar 98. We've got a revolver, some more 7.62, trying to just find anything. There's some more 7.62, don't really need it. And I think we're almost out of time, so I have to invite the guy on the ground, otherwise I'm not going to be able to do this in time. You can see this is super time crunch, because all of a sudden, there you go, we are now falling. So there is your thumbnail for you. You've now got a guy with a Kar 98, a micro Uzi, and a level 1 vest falling through the air at the same speed as the guy with the parachute. So obviously the top guy is going to get knocked out as soon as he hits the ground, because he doesn't have a parachute and he's falling from a very high distance, but he's falling very slowly from a very high distance. So this is crazy. You can see that I am ADSing with the Kar 98, but you actually don't get a sight. You don't get iron sights. You don't get a sight picture from a scope. I didn't find a scope this game, unfortunately, but I do in a later game. I'll show you how that works too. But this is a real gun with real ammo, and you absolutely can fire it. Now, the issue, of course, is that you can't really aim where you're firing it. So you can see that we are very slowly falling over Georgia Paul, and we are almost to the crates. We're crossing the river, I think, right now. And we've got a guy with 3 weapons. I forgot he has a pistol too. So we've got a guy with a ton of ammo and 3 weapons just flying through the air. So my initial hope was that I could find somebody who was looting the crates, because I figured somebody must have dropped there, at least 1 or 2 people, and I could try to take them out from the air to see if it's even possible. Of course, somebody can shoot up at us right now, so we're super exposed to attack, because we're just kind of floating through the air at 20 kilometers per hour. So just a crazy bug or glitch, and like I said, pretty much an evolution of the one I first touched on in that previous video, where in that one I was saying, hey, look, don't do this because you're going to get knocked out when you land. But you guys had the idea, well, it could be useful if you're getting chased by somebody right away and you need to teleport away from them so they don't kill you. That's a possibility, but not very likely. When we were looting that initial house, there actually was another person there, so that person was probably wondering what happened to the footsteps around him. So I'm sorry, I flew through the air and am now up by Georgia Powell. So if you're wondering what happened to me, that's what happened. But we are now floating down to the crates, and unfortunately the top screen's also glitching like up and down. You can see the guy in the bottom screen is like bouncing up and down super quick, and because of that, it's just way too choppy to actually try to get a kill. So I saw a guy running in the crates right there. You could see him on the bottom screen, but I was trying to aim for him. I just couldn't find him. And even if I could find him, look how choppy it is and bouncing around it is. I have no clue where those guns are, where those bolts are going from that Kar 98. So now my guy dropped and he is knocked out because he dropped without a parachute, of course, but I can drop the items he was carrying. And as you can see, my other character, I don't know exactly what's happening there, I couldn't drag it over, but you can see the character who parachuted safely now has those weapons. So this is where it would still be faster to just drop down where you want to and then loot up, but I guess if you wanted to start the game with a Kar 98 and a micro Uzi and not very much ammo, this is a way to do it. So you can see the one character is bleeding out, the other character is heading towards the gunfire. I just figured it would be fun if I could potentially kill somebody with the weapons I got from way down at military base. So obviously the guns are the same. There's no functional difference there. There's a bot who's standing nice and still, which means that I have a chance to get that kill with that Kar 98. And it looks like he knocked somebody out, so I think we have a chance to get another kill there. Probably just going to go ahead and get closer because he's already knocked out. But I have a chance to get another kill with the Kar 98 too. So this Kar 98 started out its life spawned on Military Island, and it got some kills up by Georgia Powell just a couple minutes into the game. So my other guy has expired. I could have revived him, but trying to control two characters with one set of hands is not going to work. So I figured just let him be, take the weapons, and ride this motorcycle into the sunset by riding it up the mountain to do some crazy flips. So there you have it. There is the first example. And we'll take a look at another one now. So once again, two devices playing duos with each other, taking a look at the plane route. And if you want to do this, you want to land as soon as possible, as close to the plane route as possible, because you don't have much time before the plane automatically kicks you out at the end of the route. So that's what really makes this not very viable. It's super fun to do, but not very viable because just the timing doesn't work. I mean, you can only at most loot up one, maybe two structures and get as much as you can in maybe 10-15 seconds. You can see I'm using the horizontal drop method, dab drop method, to get over the building, and then I'm going to just go straight down to try to get on the ground as fast as possible, because the faster I get on the ground, the more time I have before I have to invite the character back up to the plane, where he falls again without a parachute at the same speed as the other guy. So here we go. I unfortunately didn't do the best of jobs trying to land close to that house, but that's all right. We should still have a little bit of time, so I'm going to do the invite there. That way I don't miss it later. And just going to run around. There's an M4. That's a good find. A Tommy gun. Some bandages. Probably not going to be very useful. A choke. I'm going to go upstairs, see if we can find anything else. Just kind of striking out. I was really looking for a site, and unfortunately ran out of time. So we have some AFK players this game. I figured, hey, can I actually shoot them while I'm in the air and knock them out or kill them while I'm falling with my other character? And the thinking is it's possible, but it looked like I actually got a couple of hits there on that one guy, maybe. You'll have to watch the video back. I'm not entirely sure, but it's bouncing up and down so fast that it's impossible to aim, and it's fun, but it's also not really doing me much good. So you can see the AFK players now are below us. They fell faster than us, so we're going to have to adjust with the guy on the bottom. I'm shooting straight down pretty much, but I don't think I have the angle I need to actually hit them. So potentially you could do this. Potentially you could knock out those players, but you can see that the top guy is bouncing up and down a lot. And because he is, and he gets knocked out, of course, as soon as he lands. So if I want to get those weapons, I either have to revive him or just drop the weapons on the ground and pick them up with my other character. So you can see there are the guys. They landed, unfortunately, in the water. If they landed on the land, these are the AFK players, or potentially AFK players. If they landed on the land, I could have gotten some easy kills with the weapons that I got from the first guy, looting that initial house. But as it is, they landed in the water, and none of them are swimming to shore, so I'm just going to go ahead and put some rounds in the water for fun. So you'll have to watch it back again because it kind of happened fast for me to see, but I'm not sure if I actually got any hit markers or not on those guys who were falling through the air. I'd imagine I probably didn't, because without armor, it would only take a couple shots to knock them out, and nobody got knocked out. So who knows? Either way, it is fun. So I'm going to do it one more time. Just going to show you the process one more time. I'm picking a location that is very close to the plane's flight path, that way, and very early in the plane's flight path. That way, as soon as I can, I'm getting ready to hit that jump, jumping out of the plane, going to that marker, going straight down once I get there, and trying to get as many items into my possession as possible before I am teleported, because you can see we're going towards military. We're going to drop at military because that's the last location before you get kicked out of the plane, and I don't have much time to loot these items. So again, I know this could be advantageous. It's definitely a bug or glitch you could take advantage of, but not really too well, because You just don't have that much time. So this is a great building. I made a video about this building. There is a 4x scope and a frag grenade. Those are the things I really wanted to see. And of course we got a Kar 98 already, so that's pretty awesome. I have to invite before I forget. There's a red dot. I could have picked that up too. I should have picked up the red dot, but instead I was just focusing on trying to get as many things as possible. Unfortunately, nothing else was really in my grasp there. As soon as I go out onto the balcony, try to get that, and we're done. So you can see at most you've got, I don't know, 15 seconds or so to try to loot these items. But this time I did it finally. This is actually like the 7th or 8th game I was trying this on, because I really wanted to get a weapon with a scope, and that is not easy to find a weapon and a sight that quickly. So fortunately, a great drop location that time allowed me to do that and get a 4x scope, which is even better than a red dot holographic or 2x, and we can see how it behaves. So that's how it works. You zoom in the appropriate amount. So you zoom in, it has the magnification, but it doesn't have any sort of aligning tool to let you know where you're actually shooting. So you could think of it as a pair of binoculars as you're falling to your death without a parachute, but beyond that, not very useful. You can see the character on the bottom screen is glitching out hard. That's why he's bouncing up and down, and it makes shooting not very easy. So you can see there, as I am reloading the weapon, just some general insanity. Look at that. That hand isn't supposed to be like that, but he's able to reload regardless as he falls to his death. So just a crazy situation and a funny glitch if you want to mess with your teammates or just record some funny videos. This is how you do it. Like I said before, I don't really know if it's too advantageous. I still think the best use for this sort of glitch would be to loot somewhere super contested like military base and then disappear 15 seconds later and then drop with your partner to a much safer area on the other side of the map. So maybe you could get, you know, a Kar 98 and an 8x or something if you got really lucky in the first 10-15 seconds of the game, and then you get to start the game with that weapon in a much safer location on the other side of the map. But other than that, like I said, I think it's just mostly for fun and just a silly glitch that you can have some fun with. So there's a rock. Wasn't entirely sure. I thought at first that might be a person, but it's obviously just a rock. So you can see we're doing the funky hands again. This is something I really wanted to test, and fortunately I was able to find one. I am going to throw a frag grenade from the air down at the road over there. We'll see. There it is. It explodes. So you can actually, if you somehow found a ton of grenades, I suppose you could rain destruction down on whoever is below you from the air. Doesn't stop anyone from just looking up and shooting you down, but still pretty neat to be able to you know, throw some grenades down and just have some fun. You could throw a smoke grenade and then like float to an entirely different spot, and then people would just be wondering like, where the heck did that come from? You could drop your clothes or drop weapons, and then all of a sudden they'll just pop up on the ground, and people are wondering what the heck just happened there. You know, how did a shirt just land from the heavens? So I don't know. It's just having fun. So here's somebody. Of course, my other guy's bleeding out, but I was able to grab the scope and the Kar 98 with this other character and get the kill on that guy, presumably a bot. Now I'm gonna go ahead and try to help my friend out there who is not doing too well, not feeling too well after jumping without a parachute. Unfortunately, there is one of the scary bots with a vector. These guys mean business, because even though they are awful and the bolts don't do much damage, vectors fire fast enough that their bolts that don't do much damage still hurt. So I was trying to reload the revolver, not doing very well. Now I'm just taking some shots at him, fortunately able to get him and save my friend, who is still alive thanks to the magic of a partner's hand. There you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this glitch. Hopefully you will have fun with it. I'm sure it will be patched at some point. Interesting to note, a number of you asked what happens if you get into a car. Can the car fly? Unfortunately, the car doesn't fly. Once you accept an invite to follow somebody who's still in the plane, if you're in a vehicle, nothing happens. So they jump out of the plane, they start following with the AFK people, but you stay on the ground in the vehicle and nothing exciting. So my name's Derek G. If you enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends to help grow the channel. I really appreciate it. And consider subscribing if you haven't already for tons more PUBG Mobile content. I hope to see you on the battlefield soon.